This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. All right, let's get to it. The next night, as crazy as this sounds, Jeff just gives the European title to Mark Henry. So there's that. Deborah also gets an assistant in Miss Kitty. Stacy Carter, who is, of course, the real life wife of Jerry Lawler, becomes Deborah's assistant. Why? Again, we started talking about this show with lots of Tennessee stuff. Why is Stacy in this spot here?
Stacy was looking to work. Stacy was a good-looking girl, and more TNA, not TNA, but tits and ass.
Jeff starts to attack women at this point, which sort of begins his feud with Chyna. Where did this idea come from? How comfortable was Jeff in doing it? Obviously, it's a different time. But I mean, he gets on a roll here with it. On Raw, he defeats Jacqueline on September 6th. On September 9th, he pulls the fabulous Moolah in the ring and smashes her with a guitar. Then he puts Mae Young in the figure 4 while Deborah and Miss Kitty are begging him to stop. Whose idea was it? I mean, this feels sort of Andy Kaufman-like, which is
bro.
Yeah, help me understand.
Yeah, bro. Andy Kaufman, very Andy Kaufman-like, and I think this was a collaboration of both Russo and Jeff together just to try and make Jeff a modern-day Andy Kaufman. And Jeff coming from Memphis and seeing what that did for business there, but the thing was a celebrity. But I think it was more a collaboration of the two and trying to come up with something new and different.
So September 13th, they have a Raw where Luna Vachon is in a match with Jeff Jarrett, and Ivory smashes a guitar over Luna's head. So Luna gets the win by DQ. And then Jeff puts Lillian Garcia in the figure 4 when she announces that Luna was the winner. A few days later on SmackDown, Jeff would attack Hollywood actress Cindy Margolis and put her in the figure 4. And then he would high five women's champion Ivory and then put her in the figure 4 too. I don't know why this tickles me, but it does. Later on, Jarrett would wrestle Test, and try to put Stephanie McMahon in the figure 4. Shane stopped it. September 20th, on Raw, Jeff Jarrett would attack the makeup lady backstage and put her in the... Why does this tickle me so much? Whose idea is it for him to just Cindy Margolis, Moolah, Mae Young, the makeup lady, Lillian Garcia? This is so silly. Let my family save your family some cash. You don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket, but we will save you money. It's not a matter if, it's a matter of how much. SaveWithConrad.com. All right, one of the most tickled moments we've ever had here on the show, where you were just running around and smashing women with guitars and putting figure 4s on every lady in the WWE.
And then outside.
It's just phenomenal. I remember recording this like it was yesterday, because in my research, I'm trying to figure out, hey, who all did he put the figure 4 on? Literally every female personality that you could find. Is this a Russo idea as best you recall, or how did that piece of creative come up from your memory?
I'd love to know who the first one was, as far as the figure 4, because the makeup lady and Cindy Margolis, and I mean, you name it. I mean, and so I don't know who the first one was on research, and we'll cover that on My World when we do this episode. But Ed Ferrar, and a lot of times he doesn't get as much credit as deserves, and obviously Vince was the lead writer. So it was them two. But once it's one of those things, and I'm sure you and Eric talking, and I love 83 Weeks, and Bruce, but when you guys are talking creative and that kind of stuff, a lot of times it's like when a fire is burning, do you really have to do anything other than step back and watch? Once things get rolling, it writes itself. And, you got to remember, this is October, the summer of '99, so to speak. so well, I don't say it was at the end of the Attitude Era, but certainly right in the peak or headed down a little bit. And China had come on the scene and gone from a bodyguard. No need to go into the history of that, but DX was red hot. And I've always said that, DX, when you have Road Dogg and his unbelievable charisma, and then you had X-Pac and just sort of had his vibe, but then China. But I always looked at DX when they'd come through the curtain, and Road Dogg and China defined it so much. Road Dogg with the braids and all that. But anyway, China and the people knew where this was going. Again, it wrote itself. And so the heat that was involved in that angle, and I'm not saying just heel heat, I'm really just saying crowd reaction. It was just red hot. And so, man, you guys laughing about it, and it was. I mean, come on, the Moolah guitar shot. I'll never forget getting back to my bag, my dressing. Did the guitar shot with Moolah, whatever it happened. All this. Kevin Nash texts me, and he said, something to the effect, I may have seen the greatest 10 seconds of professional wrestling in my entire life on the guitar shot on Moolah. So the story, once it got rolling, it really got rolling.
Well, let's get rolling to close out Something to Wrestle here with Bruce Prichard, all about Jeff Jarrett from 2017. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.